I don't see her playlist. I don't see where the story's at. Where is it? I see a lot of Diddy. Wait, hold on. It might be here. Wait, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and research this right now. It's gonna take a long time. But please, Nick, if you're around, perfectly, Nick, determined mind, what up? Um, please come on. Let me see if she's trying to, because I got a few people trying to come on my live right now on TikTok. Let me see if she's one of them. I know one of y'all know her. Y'all better hit her up and say, hey, Choke said, come on right now. That's not her. Who's this? Let's see. Is that her? That's a different Nick. And so many people trying to join on the TikTok. Imperfectly, Nick, if you're watching, that's not her. All right. Well, let me check these one more time. Man, I hope this girl ain't capping, man. Because she could really get herself in some trouble. What's this one? Diddy. Oh, wait. She did have a different one. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, okay, we got it. Oh, we do got it, y'all. Okay. So she do give a whole rundown. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I hope the audio is good. Let's get to it. All right. We still under fair use here. Okay, let's get to the now it'll be better. Okay, let's get to this. Still under fair use.
Okay, you guys, where do I get started with this story? First, let me say it's really difficult for me to talk about because I was victimized. And I want to say I was victimized at the hands of Bad Boy, not Diddy. However, Bad Boy, and it came down to high ranking people in the Bad Boy camp. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because you guys have probably saw the story, but the girl is now saying that, well, the woman is now saying that she was taken advantage of in 2001 by Diddy and his security. Now, I personally know some stories about security people, and my story really has a lot to do with security people. And I'm bringing this up because, okay, there is somebody who is a part of the Diddy takedown who has been very loud and very vocal about Diddy's wrong, Diddy's wrong. I have nothing to do with any of this. However, I myself am 99.9% sure that you were there the night that I was taken advantage of. And I want to say that I feel that you had something to do with it. Now, there was another woman who was there as well. And sadly, I would love to know what happened to her because she was laid out. I don't know what she drank, I don't know what was put inside of her drink. Now, just briefly into the story. Go into Justin's, and when you go into Justin's, this is in New York, you look to your right and you look to your right, and there is a sitting area, like a lounge area. This woman was laid out, completely just knocked out. I didn't know.
Now, what she's saying about Justin's is 100% correct, right? When you walked in, there is the waiting area, like a seating area. I remember me, Whitney Houston, and all of us being over there right now. She's not lying about that. She is not lying about that. That's how Justin's was. Shout out to Roy. Roy was the security at the door. I know Roy. Roy has been around. I know Roy from the streets. I know Roy when he was running with Jesus from Brooklyn. I ain't got to get all that. Like I tell you, I don't talk about the street shit, right? But Roy's the dude at the door. Roy is he was a street nigga turned security for Diddy, but he used to run with Jesus from Brooklyn. I think Jesus passed away. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna say too much about the street stuff, right? But I know Roy, right? Um, so what she's saying so far is a fact. When you come in there and out, here's the other thing where we cannot discredit her, right? Because Gene has told us he has been drugged, right? Remember he told about how he drunk the shit and didn't know it was spiked or whatever, whatever. And niggas told him, "Oh, nigga, you drunk the juice." We know that story, so we know that that shit was going on. I showed you the joint more recent where he talked about they were spiking the juice, right? And how women would roofie themselves, right? That's the second time. Then we know about the time his baby mother went to the party and she got allegedly drugged and or roofied or whatever, and he was running around the goddamn their party, kicking in doors, looking for his baby mother and shit. And she was outside in the car talking about they drunk the shit and they fell asleep, so they went to the car, right? So that part of it, we know that it is a possibility that uh, somebody could have been got drugged because Gene told us himself on 3 different occasions he got drugged. His baby mama got drugged, and what was the third one? And then he telling the story about how they was doing it himself, how they was doing it. He told that story sitting down doing the interview. He talked about that time. He talked about knowing that they was doing it. He talked about his baby moms actually catching it, and he talked about himself actually catching it. Right. So we know what she's saying right there is not far fetched because he told us that dumb people over in the bad boy circle allegedly was drugging women, right? So we know that when she's saying that part, we know that could be true. All right, let's continue.
Know what was going on with this woman. I, of course, was concerned. I decided that I wanted to get involved and I'm trying to take care of her because there were men surrounding her like freaking vultures, all bad boy people surrounding her like freaking vultures. I'm like, what the hell? I go and I'm trying to tend to her needs and trying to figure out what's going on. While I'm trying to tend to her needs, some weird shit happened to me that took me away from taking care of this woman and trying to figure out what was going on with her. Okay, when I got pulled away, when I came back to the scene, everybody was gone. Now, everybody, like I said, it was a bunch of bad boy people there. I'm not sure who they were, but it was a group of men just like vultures around this woman. What I do remember, though, and what sticks out to me very clearly is there was security there. There was security there, and why this sticks out to me is because I remember I was sitting, those who've been to Justin's, you know what I'm talking about. I was sitting in that window area. As soon as you walk in, there's like a little window sitting area. We could just be like on the low. I'm sitting there, and Diddy's security is up there too with me. Not talking to me, not engaging. They would just happen to be there. Diddy security, I am 99.999% sure, included Gene Deal. It was two security, definitely. I want to say maybe three, but there were definitely two security there. And Gene, your face sticks out to me like a sore thumb. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I have no problem saying I'm wrong. However, I do know that I was taken advantage of that night. And I would love to know what happened to that woman. Okay, you guys, where do I get started with this story? First, let me say it's really difficult for me to talk about because I was victimized. And I want to say I was victimized at the hands of Bad Boy, not Diddy. However, Bad Boy, and it came down to high ranking people in the Bad Boy camp. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because you guys have probably saw the story, but the girl is now saying that, well, the woman is now saying that she was taken advantage of in 2001 by Diddy and his security. Now, I personally know some stories about security people, and my story really has a lot to do with security people. And I'm bringing this up because, okay, there is somebody who is a part of the Diddy takedown who has been very loud and very vocal about Diddy's wrong, Diddy's wrong. I have nothing to do with any of this. However, I myself am 99.9% sure that you were there the night that I was taken advantage of. And I want to say that I feel that you had something to do with it. Now, there was another woman who was there as well. And sadly, I would love to know what happened to her because she was laid out. I don't know what she drank, I don't know what was put inside of her drink. Now, just briefly into the story. Go into Justin's, and when you go into Justin's, this is in New York, you look to your right and you look to your right, and there is a sitting area, like a lounge area. This woman was laid out completely, just knocked out. I didn't know what was going on with this woman. I, of course, was concerned. I decided that I wanted to get involved and I'm trying to take care of her because there were men surrounding her like freaking vultures, all bad boy people surrounding her like freaking vultures. I'm like, what the hell? I go and I'm trying to tend to her needs and trying to figure out what's going on. While I'm trying to tend to her needs, some weird shit happened to me that took me away from taking care of this woman and trying to figure out what was going on with her. Okay, when I got pulled away, when I came back to the scene, everybody was gone. Now, everybody, like I said, it was a bunch of bad boy people there. I'm not sure who they were, but it was a group of men just like vultures around this woman. What I do remember, though, and what sticks out to me very clearly is there was security there. there was security there. And why this sticks out to me is because I remember I was sitting, those who've been to Justin's, you know what I'm talking about. I was sitting in that window area. As soon as you walk in, there's like a little window sitting area. We could just be like on the low. I'm sitting there, and Diddy's security is up there too with me, not talking to me, not engaging. They would just happen to be there. Diddy's security, I am 99.999% sure, included Gene Deal. It was two security, definitely. I want to say maybe three, but there were definitely two security there. And Gene, your face sticks out to me like a sore thumb. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I have no problem saying I'm wrong. However, I do know that I was taken advantage of that night. And I would love to know what happened to that woman. Okay.
Now, everything she's saying, how she's describing justice, is a fact. She's not lying about that. I believe her. I believe and now going back to this video and how her details in describing justice, she got that shit spot on. Now here's another interesting thing, right? Gene does have a memorable face, right? It's like he's like Chris Brown security. Like, I know Chris Brown security. I can't even remember this nigga name, but he has that face that if I ran into him right now, I'd be like, oh shit, that's Chris Brown security from the way back, right? Gene, I didn't know Gene back then. But how many times have I showed y'all Gene in my footage back in the day, and I'd be like, oh shit, there go Gene, because Gene is a big ass, memorable ass face, physique. You're not gonna forget him. You're not gonna forget him. Let me see if I can find. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all how easy it is to spot Gene back in the days. Watch. Let me see. I can't remember. Let me see. I know I posted. Let me see. They said she in the chat. Oh, thanks. What you call it? Who's that just sent me that? Somebody just sent me a Cash App saying, "Oh, Aries 80s, baby." They said she in the chat. All right. Where's she at? I'm gonna drop the link for her. Hold on. Let me just try to see if I can find this video. Thank you for coming on, sister. I'm gonna drop the link for you in a second. Hold on. I'm gonna have to put a drive in. I know I got. I know I posted it. I can't. Let me see. Maybe. Oh, it might be. I gotta. Damn, where is it? What is it? What is it? Let me see. I know I got the footage. Damn, where? Oh, they ain't only showing me shorts. All right, I'll find it. Let's get back. Let me just finish with this young lady. All right. Wait, somebody says she's in here. I'm gonna drop the link for. All right, I just put the link in the chat for you, Nick, if you in here. All right, but let me continue watching her. Oh, shout out to the new members. Shout out to Bree. Thank you, Bree, for becoming a member of original Choke No Jokesters. It was you and it was somebody else with a V. There you go. I'll put it on the screen. I didn't want to lose my train of thought. But oh, there you go, Victoria. Thank you, Victoria, for becoming a member. And thank you, Bree, with two E's for becoming a member. All right, I dropped the link for her if she's in here. Somebody, Aries 80 says she's in here. Where's her name on the screen at? What's her name? Is it Who Am I to Judge? Is that her? Okay, she's here. All right, she is here, I believe. She's trying to get her camera together. Take your time, Imperfectlynik. I see you. I'm gonna play your video before I bring you on. Let me play the other one first. While you get yourself together over there. I'll see you though. All right. Let's go. Let's see.
Okay, you guys, where do I get started with this story? Okay, so today's going to be a complete story time.
All right. So that first one we saw was part one. This one is part two.
I'm going to pick up from the story that I just started yesterday. Let's get into it. Now, where we left off yesterday is it was complete commotion in front of Justin's, the front area. Complete commotion, and this lady is laid out on this couch. Once I got back to the scene, everybody was gone. It was as if it was like the Twilight Zone, as if nothing ever happened. It was crazy. Okay, so I didn't mention yesterday, but I was working for Justice at that time. That's why I was there. I was actually working the party that took place that night. Okay, so now I'm going to leave because obviously everything is all cleaned up, everything's done. I'm going to leave. When I'm going to leave, I go to get my purse. My purse ended up getting stolen, y'all. I'm living in New York City. It is the middle of the night. It's after a club. So I want to say it was around 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe later. Okay, I have no house keys, I have no car keys, I have no money. How the hell am I going to get from Justin's? This is where it gets interesting. Do you guys remember those court documents regarding the Diddy indictment when it's saying high ranking individuals? Yeah, well, the VP of Justice at that time, hi Dre, the VP of Justice at that time, he was at the location and he said, okay, very nicely, he's the knight in shining armor. He's going to take me home. I can go home with him for the night. I'm kind of my back is against the wall, literally. So I'm like, okay, what else can I do at this time? So of course I went home with him. Now looking back at it, like I said, I think this was all a setup, and I can't even believe I was so young and dumb and naive. I mean, I was super freaking young, y'all. So young, dumb, and naive. I wasn't even peeping game. But okay, and I should have called the cops and made a report about the fact that my purse was stolen. Didn't do that either. I just let the older man lead me and let me into some mess. Okay, so now I go home with this individual. He lived in Harlem on the west side. Tell me I'm lying. He lived inside of a townhouse. It was a nice townhouse, but tell me I'm lying. I go home with this individual. Okay, the night was, y'all already know what took place that night, and I would never have been there if I was not put in that predicament that I was put in. However, I wake up in the morning from this individual's home, and guess what, y'all? My purse suddenly shows back up at Justin's. Er? Okay, so the VP, Dre, tells me that he received a phone call from Justin's and my purse miraculously just shows back up. He drove me down to Justin's to pick up my purse, pick it up, I go home. That was pretty much the end of that. Do you guys not find it funny that somehow, some way, somebody took my purse by mistake? So they're saying. My purse miraculously pops back up. I'm not sure if my purse was even taken now, knowing what I know. Was my purse taken because they wanted my identification and all of my personal information? But that makes no sense because I already worked for Justin, so they already had all of my information. No, they took my purse because they didn't want me to go home. I was set up. It was a freaking setup. Now that I look at it, it was a freaking setup. So after I got my purse back, okay, we started dating. I wish I wouldn't have, but I'm glad I did because it's given me the experience that I can now share with you guys. But we started dating for a while. This man was way older than me. I want to say at least 20 years older than me, probably more than likely. And it became a control mechanism. And it's kind of weird because it was like the same control that Cassie said that Diddy was doing with her is what I was receiving. So I'd be at work, and he'd just pop up randomly and he'd send me home if certain people were at the establishment. He didn't want me around them. He'd send me home. What he would also do is if I had on certain clothing or certain items that he didn't approve of, nothing was wrong with them. But if he didn't approve of them, he would make me put on men button up those white shirts that men wear, like when they're waiters. He would make me put on these white shirts. It became so overwhelming. It was just like I just had to leave. Like I said, I was there for about a good 60 days, I want to say, but it just became so overwhelming just dealing with the control mechanism that he was putting on me that I just had to sit up there and leave. And that's my Diddy story with high power individuals and security. And you cannot tell me, sir, that you were not there that day. And that's just what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, follow, share. Bye. Okay, so today is going to be a complete story time. I'm going to pick up from the story that I shall come on down to this stoop and bring